Hello there everyone, and this is Kyle from Twisted Modworks, and we're down here today, which means we have another bin video. This is the last and final bin of Nerfy goodness that I have had in storage for a long time. Just looking in here, I'm pretty happy with what I see, but let's dive right on in to the first blaster on top. And that is my original Caliburn. This is before it was sold to Worker. I believe this was one of the original, and this has had a really hard life. Kinda odd, but this was used pretty heavily. Has seen its wear and tear, and some things are a little wobbly at this point, but would be really cool to get this fixed. I was gonna say, I don't even think it will catch right now. It will not. We have a crack right there in the plunger head, and I'm sure there's some spring somewhere that is not connected at this point. Catches all the way back there. Grabs there. And that spot is just completely worn out. This was running a full K26, so you can connect the dots as to what's going on there. But obviously this was in orange and blue. Kind of looked like an Elite blaster because it had the ability. Obviously this was the Elite style, so you could just go ahead and slam a Elite mag in there and do that way. But maybe one day we'll get around to fixing this, but it's still just kind of cool. Here we have a sun-damaged Crimson long shot, completely stock because I didn't want to necessarily do anything with it too crazy. The top nub is actually white, which is so crazy to me. One day I wanted to put a pump action kit on this, but I don't really want to damage this any further right now, but obviously stock is completely worn. But Crimson long shot. Going with the long shot theme, this is my Elite long shot. Obviously this has full metal internals and has the metal front barrel. Threaded on both sides, very easy to disassemble. You can see all the nice worker kit in here. This was pretty cool. I don't want to dry fire it because I don't know the sitch. Yeah, this has the full worker kit, so no nothing in there. But obviously, rails, F10 555 pump grip, the standard stock. This does not have their stock, and this is kind of just floppy at this point, but pretty cool. And who doesn't love a Elite long shot? And next we have the rival Hurricane from Out of Darts. This was a aftermarket kit, fully 3D printed, that goes into your Zeus, and holds like 75 rounds. Kind of crazy. This kit was secondhand when I got it. And is obviously all set up to a 3S lipo up in here, and that controls the switch for the blower, and obviously you have full auto for the firing propulsion. But yeah, pretty cool. This thing actually, I don't think it got featured in my 2020 or the mods of 2020 video because it wasn't done yet. But then all the footage got somehow corrupted on my hard drive, and I didn't want to reopen this to refilm it, because once I got it all kind of set in place, it was very difficult to get all these pipes and everything back in. So here it is though, Rival Hurricane. A modified sling fire spring. Feels like it. I don't think anything else is done here, because I mean there was no kits. Has a cut-off front barrel. A lot of these things I can't answer. It does have the glued. I can feel it. There's no slop in that. It has the gears glued, so you can fully do all the tricks. But it does have that gear solvent welded, so you cannot. It no longer like ratchets around and gives. So that's something, right? We have an original Raven, and this is why I didn't feel bad about cutting up the other one. Pretty nice. This has a ridiculous expanded battery door. Extended motor cover, doesn't need it, just so it's there. And this is running a 3D printed cage, blue blaster parts wheels, and it looks like Fang revamps. Can't really tell from this angle, but obviously I love the Raven. Slim, nice, and compact. This is running my extension spring setup. Yep, I can see it in there. So the trigger pull is a little heavy, but it does let it snap back very nicely. And obviously micro switched, all the good stuff. Yellow, that's from a Ravenfire. That is definitely from a Ravenfire. But original Raven, pretty cool. Getting down to the good stuff. This is the Rapid Strike featured in my mods of 2020, and this is a pretty cool setup. This is a OFP 42 cage running on the Neo Hellcats underneath the 3D printed motor cover with the plexi insert, so you can see the wiring. Wiring isn't the best. This is running a aftermarket 2-switch setup, so the trigger and firing trigger, or sorry, rev trigger, firing trigger are black, and they're in their own little cradle. That does mean you can still fully adjust the stock, although obviously you'd probably run this out anyway. It does give a little bit, that's kind of weird. But this was pretty cool. It has the worker screws. This runs on a 3S, and there is a 130 in for the pusher. That way you can still have all the goods in that regard. This has a 3D printed, flared magwell to go with the matching switch there, and then I printed a expanded wire cover because now you have all those wires going through there and they're a lot thicker than they used to be, so obviously you need something for that. The third to last thing in here is the submarine style strife from Worker. This is a full Worker 3D print kit. So F10555, but same company, with the top rail, which is not happy, it looks like, but that's another issue. The block snub nose front, and obviously the full-on grip for that. I believe this was wired up, yep, for 2S, and of course this is just the original door just sitting here for storage. This has the blue canted metal flywheel cage from Worker. You can't open the battery door, or sorry, the jam door to see that, but it is there. And this has their submarine style front end, and honestly just a cool little bit of Worker kit, kind of the whole thing. So this has the removable front end, but it has the metal insert that nests into the front of the flywheels, and it nests into the front of the flywheel cage, sorry, and it kind of does all that. But this is how it breaks down for storage, so I'll take that. And the second to last thing in here is a modified long shot. This is a Zombie Strike long shot. It has the F10555 stock, top rail, and pump kit. Who doesn't love that? You can still do it this way. This is the same kit that is on the Elite long shot. Obviously without the really cool top rail, which I really like having all that Picatinny up there. And I believe this was Gavin Fuzzy. I don't remember who originally did this, but so you don't have, this no longer works, this mag release. You can actually grab here or push down with your trigger finger, or push forward with your thumb, or however you really want to do that. That was pretty cool. And this is the last thing in here. This is my X-Zeus 2. Who remembers these? These are decently old now. Does have the adjustable stock, was always short. This was kind of like long shot, not in a long shot. So really, really hefty prime. Obviously pump action, Picatinny on both sides and top. Did really like that. This has a full threaded barrel, so it threads into the down to the barrel down in there, and then just the orange slide on just because, you know, needed more orange. Mag release being right there is really easy. Can I actually fire this? I'd love to fire this. It's been so long. Ooh. I did not like that dart at all. And these are brandy new. Yeah, we did not fire that. I think we skipped right over it. Something's in that barrel, though. These metal threaded barrels are a little sketch. Oh, that's empty. He is not letting this dart in. It's a very tight fit. It's threaded all the way in. But it fires when you do that, so I don't know if we are just not feeding into that all the way. See how this is right here? This is the last dart. When I insert, it pushes it below my finger, and when it doesn't feed it, so it doesn't do anything. So yeah, it's half dart only. I should have been able to figure it out. This is the Nexus Pro X and a worker magwell adapter, and fires fine. It definitely needs lube. This is not going to be chronoing well. I'm also just shooting into the bin right now. Ooh, that goes right in there. I do not want that. Or that. Take two. I'm fine, I swear. Just getting ahead of myself. Yeah, 107. This should be shooting well over 150, 160. Oh. But either way, Exus 2, and so that's the last bin of blasters. This just gets torn down for packing purposes, and this all just kind of just goes up in an attic now, guys. If there's anything that you saw in this that you want to see more of, let me know. It is always going to be accessible. A lot of these, as you saw, need servicing. The Exus 2 should be shooting way harder than that. Maybe we'll sit down one day and get all these out and do a really big chrono session with all the long shots, the Caliburn if we can get it to catch, and the Exus 2. But as for now, that is it. Thank you guys very much for watching the last and final bin cleanout video. Like I said, obviously, if there's anything you guys want to see more of, let me know. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all this stuff. And peace out, bro.